Hey boys and girls, Mrs. Stern here. I am going to try to get better at these videos for you guys. So we are working on lesson 3.5, dividing integers today. We are using the same chart from our note sheet, we call it our toolkit. I have it pulled up here, okay? It's this thing. Scroll all the way down to dividing integers. It is the same thing for rational numbers. So right now I'm going to put in rational numbers because we are adding them. Okay, so a positive number divided by a positive number is going to give you a positive answer. A negative number divided by a negative number will give you a positive answer. A positive divided by a negative equals a negative, and a negative divided by a positive gives you a negative. Okay, so there's a little bit of a pattern there you can see, and then we discussed how 0 divided by any number is 0, and any number divided by 0 is undefined. We're not going to use that a whole lot right now. Okay, so we're going to move to our textbook, and we're going to look at this first question, all right? A diver needs to descend to a depth of 100 feet below sea level. She wants to do it in 5 equal descents. How far should she travel in each descent? Well, we know she's going down because of this word descent, all right, or descent. We also know that she's going to a depth of 100, and she wants to break it into 5 equal groups. So I have 100, and it is below sea level, so it is negative, and I am dividing it into 5 equal groups. Okay, so negative 100 divided by 5. That can also be written as negative 100 divided by 5. Okay, and that's what they have in the textbook right here. You're breaking it into 5 equal groups. Boys and girls, I have no problem if you use your calculator for this to do the 100 divided by 5. If I were going to do this, I would be, and those of you that had me last year, you know I don't love the way the textbook does things, so I kind of skip some of that stuff. If you want to go back and fill in the blanks, that's fine. But I know I'm solving 100 divided by 5, so I am simply going to go 100 divided by 5. Well, I know 5 goes into 10 2 times because 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, so now I have to subtract. 10 minus 10 is 0. Bring down my 0. I cannot divide 5 into 0, so I have to put my placeholder. So my answer is 20, but I need to know if my answer is negative or positive. Based on that chart, a negative divided by a positive, let's go back and double check. A negative number divided by a positive number, that gives me a negative answer. Okay, so I know my answer is going to be negative. Let's go back and put that. My answer is negative 20. Okay, how far should you travel in each descent? You should go down 20, it looks like feet. So we need our label down 20 feet. All right, so I am going to see, in their version, it says rewrite the division problem as a multiplication problem. Think some number multiplied by 5 equals negative 100. So we could say that negative 20 times 5 equals 100. But again, I'm fine if you just jump right to the division if you know that it is a division problem. So we are going to erase, and we are going to keep going. All right, and in order to do that, we have to switch to the next page. So here's that nice fancy chart for you. They have it here for you again. Okay, so we're going to jump down, and we are going to look at letter A right here. 12 divided by negative 4. Okay, so I have 12, and I am dividing it by a negative 4, which really I know because I have one negative and one positive, my answer is going to be a negative answer. 4 goes into 12. 4, 8, 12. That would be 3 times. And 3 times 4 is 12. So there's nothing left over. Okay. So my answer for that one would be negative 3. I'm going to just pause for a second. All right, boys and girls, we are going to keep going. So if we look at this problem, this time I have negative 12 divided by positive 4. Well, I know my answer is still 3, and I still have one negative and one positive, so my answer is still negative 3. This problem here, 12 divided by 4 with the negative sign on the outside, that means the opposite of 12 divided by 4. So 12 divided by 4 gives me 3, and because there's a negative sign out here, it wants the opposite of 3, which is negative 3. So each quotient is the exact same answer, no matter where that negative sign is in the problem. The only way this problem would be different is if I had negative 12 divided by negative 4. My answer would be 3, and it would be positive 3 because I have two negative numbers to cancel out into a positive. All right, let's erase that. How you doing, boys and girls? I know this is crazy. I'm not sure how I feel about doing these with you virtually as well. But we're giving it a go. Okay, so you're going to get problems like these to practice. They are the same types of problems. You're just adding in those decimals or the fractions. And I am telling you right now, use your calculators. When you come to school, you'll be able to have the graphing calculators that do the fractions for you. If you guys buy one from Walmart, they're like $16, so that you don't have to do these fractions by yourself, okay, or in your head or anything like that. So let's just start with number 1. I have 72 hundredths divided by negative 9 tenths. I'm automatically going to say a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So my answer is negative. Then I'm going to go to my calculator, which I'm going to pick up. I have it in my hand, and I am going to type in 0.72 divided by 0.9. And I get 0.8. So my answer is negative 8 tenths. With my fractions over here, I have 1/5 divided by 7/5. Now, because it is division of a fraction, I have to keep, change, and flip. All right, so I keep my first fraction. This turns into 1/5 times 5/7. Okay, so I could do my multiplying now. Oops, I see this and this cancel out. So I'm actually left with 1/7. And because of my negative sign, my answer will be negative. All right, boys and girls, you've done a great job with me today. We were working on our dividing of our rational numbers. You are next going to go to your assignment in your textbook and work through some of these problems. And the directions for that are on your checklist in Schoology.